Cooking with the vegan zombie.
Hello my friends, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Vegan Zombie. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. We thought we'd give you a few recipes that you could share with your friends and your family around the table this Thanksgiving. Of course, no animals were harmed in the making of this delicious food. Our first recipe is going to be a delicious fall festive rice pilaf. Now I know what you're thinking, rice pilaf. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna pack so much flavor in this, your family's gonna love it. We've got butternut squash, cauliflower, cranberries. I mean, come on, I'm already ready for Thanksgiving just by saying those three things. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the rice. I've got 2 cups of water boiling, and I've got a mixed blend of wild rice and an Eat Pastry cookie dough carton. So we're gonna throw that right in and stir it up. When you're cooking most rice, it's always 2 parts water to 1 part rice. In this case, we have the 2 cups of water and 1 cup of the wild rice. Dump it in there and give it a little stir. I have a simple spice blend in here. It's sage, paprika, salt, and pepper. We're gonna dump that in now and stir it in. And once the water comes up to a boil, we're gonna cover it and simmer it for about 45 minutes or until the rice is nice and fluffy and pilafy. Pilafy? Next, we're gonna work with our cauliflower. Now I have a half of a really large head. You can use a whole smaller head, whatever you can get your hands on, but when you cut it, you want to take the big stem part out, but you want to leave the flower part still intact. So I'm just going to carefully dissect this. Oh, look at that. Cute. Cute. It looks like a little brain. That's about the size of my brain. The ultimate goal for the cauliflower is to roast it in the oven at 400 degrees, but I get a little bit of a head start and I steam it first for about 10 minutes. You can skip that step and just throw it right in the oven if you want, but this seems to work really well for this recipe. Put a cover on there, done. Meanwhile, while the cauliflower is steaming, we're gonna create a little spice rub for the cauliflower when we're roasting it. We've got some olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, the vegan kind from Edward & Sons. Now, if you can't find that, you can omit this, but you're gonna miss that extra little zing. But it'll be okay. So we're gonna pour that into a big bowl. And we've got a nice little spice mixture here. Garlic powder, salt, pepper, nutritional yeast, some crushed red pepper, some cayenne pepper, turmeric, and a little bit of paprika. We're gonna whisk this together, and then we're gonna toss our steamed cauliflower into it. Oh, that smells good. Okay, after you pull it out of the steamer, you're gonna wanna let the cauliflower sit for a couple minutes so you don't burn your fingers right off of your body. And then when you cut it, you're gonna wanna try to slice into the stem and sort of break it from there, almost to keep it in a nice whole chunk, you know? So we're gonna take these bite-sized chunks, put it in a bowl with our mixture, and toss it all together. We'll stir it. We don't wanna make a mess here. We don't wanna lose any delicious flavors out of this bowl. Make sure everything's nice and coated. Oh man, this smells so delicious. I could eat it just like this. We're nice and coated. We're gonna put it on a baking sheet or this pizza pan that I have right here. And we're gonna roast it off in the oven at 400 degrees for a half hour to 45 minutes. You'll see it start to turn nice and brown and get all caramelized. That's when you're gonna wanna pull it right out of the oven. Next, we're gonna do some work with this butternut squash. This recipe only calls for a quarter of a butternut squash, so we're gonna cut this half and half, making a quarter. Whoa. I just have to find a way to get this into some cubes. Yes, I love it when that happens. I'm gonna throw the butternut squash into a frying pan. I have a non-stick here with a little bit of oil, and I'm gonna saute that up for a little bit. Once the butternut squash starts to show a little bit of color, about halfway through its cooking process, we're gonna add half of an onion with a medium dice on it. Mmm, smells good. I got a little bit of salt in there as well. We're gonna toss the cashews in with the butternut squash, give it a little stir. Now we're gonna add some dried organic cranberries to our rice. Stir it in there. We're gonna add this to this, making this. Give it a good stir. There's our amazingly roasted cauliflower. We're gonna fold that in. We wanna be careful when you stir this in because you don't wanna break the cauliflower up. You want that to be a nice bite-sized chunk. So we'll put that all in and we'll just gently fold it into the rice. This would be a great time if you have a big serving bowl that you're gonna bring out to the Thanksgiving table to transfer it in there so you can fold that cauliflower in. This is a tight spot to do all that work. But if you can do it without making a mess, go for it. I'm a professional, so I think I'll be fine. I gotta get the whole thing on one bite. It has so many different flavors hitting at you from all different angles. You got the roasted cauliflower, that butternut squash, the protein bite of the cashew, and that sweet cranberry taste at the end. It's really a great dish, and it's a great substitute for stuffing if you wanted to stay away from a real heavy, sit in your stomach kind of stuffing. You know that feeling every Thanksgiving, you ate too much stuffing. I know. We have a few other videos coming up for the holidays, so make sure you guys keep checking us out for that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And we have a second channel called The Vegan Zombie 2 that has a lot of behind the scenes shindigs that we're always doing. So I'll see you guys later. Until then, keep eating that delicious vegan food. Oh man, I want to get every little bit on this delicious fork. I'm not gonna eat the fork, but
That butternut squash is a lot good.